It's the Melchizedek News Hour.
Shalom. Shalom, shalom, family. Come on in to the Melchizedek News headlines. That's right, here on this Tuesday, May 27th. I pray that you all are well. Welcome to the Melchizedek Network. That's right, the network that represents for the King of Kings. That's right, you know him, the world knows him as Jesus Christ, but many may know him by his true name, Yahshua. Some say Yahweh, Yeshua. He is Motes of the Lamb if you're purging the higher learnings in the books of remembrance. And I am your Sistah ChaYah, and I welcome you all that are joining. I pray that you had a blessed 3-day weekend with so much that's going on in the world. And yes, family, there is a lot going on and a lot that we're going to talk about, but I'm going to keep it brief. I've been busy over the last few days, and I do hope that you were able to catch some of my latest videos. I brought out some really good knowledge on that graven images. You know, since the world is celebrating their holidays with a Memorial Day, I figured we might as well bring out some true knowledge, and that's what I did. I got the true knowledge from the scriptures regarding graven images. And so if you didn't get a chance to check that out, be sure to check it out. I also brought you this weekend some information about the flag, the true meaning behind the American flag, and not just the American flag, but the Statue of Liberty. And also, highly recommended videos. If you missed this one, you missed some good word, because I talked about some knowledge from the Book of Remembrance, Moses. That's right. Also, in the same video right here, I talked about the laws of Yeshurun. And it talked a lot about family and us coming together and, repentance and forgiveness, and how that is the antidote that heals all. Yes, family, we will overcome everything with repentance and forgiveness, says our true Savior. That's right, Motes of the Lamb. So, family, I'm going to start with a little intro because I'm feeling good. I've got some good news recently from my daughters, and I'm really feeling encouraged, and I pray that you are too. Brother Joseph and I were holding it down here in the islands. We are in Maui, and that's where I'm broadcasting. And we're just sending you much aloha from the islands. We are those that are staying focused, and we are encouraged with what we see the Most High doing in this hour. And he's doing so much for his people. He's restoring us. He's purifying us. He's opening our eyes to the truth. And he's given us peace in this hour. Even with so much that's going on, he's able to give you peace and give you happiness. So Sistah ChaYah is feeling good. As a matter of fact, this is how I'm feeling right here, like this young man. Yeah, family, that's how Sistah ChaYah is feeling on this Tuesday. So let that be an encouragement to you all. No matter what you're going through, family, he is able to give us some joy and happiness in our hearts through the storm, through the tornadoes. And we're going to be talking about that. I'm wanting to give you an update on what's going on in St. Louis, Missouri, with the aftermath of those catastrophic tornadoes that came through, as well as what happened in Kentucky. And also, as I start this broadcast, I just got some breaking news, and this is out of California, family. They're talking about a heat advisory. Yeah, there's a warning for those in California, the whole state. It starts today, and it's going to be through Sunday. But they're talking about, dangerously hot weather conditions with high temperatures up to 106. Yes, California, you are under alert. So much going on, family. So, yeah, it looks like that's through San Jose all the way down to southern parts of California. So, just wanted to let you all be updated on that. But family, we're going to start with the weather as we always do because there's always so much going on with the weather right about now. You know, we're in the hour, we're living in the hour. So much going on with the weather. So let's go over to Fox and get an update with things right now. We did have some tornadoes over the weekend, some hail, a lot of hail damage. They were talking about hail at the size of like DVDs. That's right, golf size hail, bigger than that, apple size hail in a number of areas, especially in Texas. There was also a lot of significant flooding in a number of areas over the weekend. So nothing has stopped. So just because you may not be hearing about some bad weather in your area doesn't mean that it's not occurring, because we had a very active 3-day weekend with severe weather. So let's go over here to Fox and get an update on that, shall we?
I've got one that can see.
You doggone right you do.
It's going to be another gusty day for folks that live in the Lone Star State. We had a powerful squall line that went from the hill country all the way through Houston. It's now pushing into the Gulf, but that is just one round. We have a lot more to get through as we work our way through the next 24 hours for Texans. Let's get you updated on the past 24 hours. So here's a look at the tornado reports. Not just Texas, New Mexico, powerful storms. I mean, that's really where the dry line initiates and then works its way through Texas. And then we have a lot of tree damage that's been reported this past weekend across parts of the southeast. So Mississippi and Alabama also popping up on our alert board where we've picked up severe weather.
And Brett, not a whole lot of change today either, right? Today and into tomorrow, a lot of the storms tomorrow fire off over East Texas or East New Mexico, West Texas. But today we've got the storm threat level 2 out of 5 for 2 areas. One of them being over South Texas, West Texas as well. And then you see the southeast over portions of southern Louisiana, Mississippi. And we've got the chance for some damaging winds with these storms.
I was going to say the Fox Weather Alert Board at the top of the studio just lit up for Acadia Parish, Cameron Parish, and Jefferson Davis Parish. This is in Louisiana for a tornado warning. So you can see it right here along the I-10 corridor. So off to an early start. We are going to have isolated tornadoes today, but the predominant chance and the most likely observed negative weather is going to be for the risk for flash flooding and also for hail and damaging winds. Now, right now we had our radar set on San Antonio. You guys got walled by heavy rain.
So family, the weather conditions are not letting up. Severe flooding in a number of areas, especially right now the South. So Texas is going through it, Louisiana, parts of Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. Yes, you are on alert because they're even saying some isolated tornadoes. I wonder how they know. I tell you, brothers and sisters, not everything that's occurring right now is absolutely natural. That's right. Some things are being manipulated, as the scriptures say. But I got an update on a story that I want to follow up with you all, with the 2 twin brothers that were found deceased on that mountain over there in Georgia outside of Atlanta. We got an update, and I want you to hear this.
New findings tonight in the mysterious deaths of twin brothers from Gwinnett County found on Bell Mountain.
So this is the case that's grabbed national attention from the arrest of a firefighter accused of leaking a crime scene photograph to the twins' family, pushing back against the GBI's initial ruling of their deaths being a murder-suicide.
Now the agency is issuing a final ruling. 11 Live's Cody Alcorn is live from outside of GBI headquarters with what we have learned here, Cody.
Jennifer and Ron, just hours ago, the GBI releasing those findings in which they said that the deaths of Khaidir and Nazir Lewis have officially been ruled suicides, and it appears there was only one gun used. After a 10-week investigation, the GBI has now ruled the deaths of Khaidir and Nazir Lewis suicides. The twin brothers, just 19 years old, were found shot to death on top of Bell Mountain on March 9th. At first, investigators suspected a murder-suicide, but the family never believed that. Here's what their uncle Raheem Bronner told me back in March.
They're very protective of each other. They love each other. They're like inseparable. So I couldn't imagine them hurting each other.
Now the GBI says neither brother killed the other. The family previously said the twins missed a flight to Boston the morning before the shooting, but the GBI now says only Nazir had a ticket and he went to the airport alone. He never boarded the flight. Investigators say Nazir also bought ammunition used in the shooting and that it was delivered to their Lawrenceville home 3 days before their deaths. Then forensic analysis of their phones revealed internet searches on how to load a gun and suicide rates. The GBI also says autopsies show both brothers fired a gun. But one question remains, and it's one the GBI may never be able to answer.
Well, family, that's the authorities' final conclusion. But I don't believe that the family is content with that finding, nor is Sister ChaYah. Continue to keep them in your prayers. Meanwhile, let's go over here. We had some protests in regards to like the George Floyd anniversary. I don't know. Let's just check it out, family.
Well, today marks 5 years since George Floyd's murder. In Chicago's Federal Plaza, demonstrators gathered as part of a national day of protest.
Charge Floyd! Charge Floyd! Charge Floyd!
Led by the Chicago Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, those in attendance condemned President Trump's executive orders. They say Trump's plan to eliminate federal consent decrees will further erode relationships between police and the community.
What happened to Mr. Floyd was...
Yeah, family. I'm sure that is orchestrated. There's some type of hidden agenda behind that one. Really? So all these folks really care about George Floyd and justice. We can practice like doing unto others each day, right? In our everyday lives, starting with our families, your neighbor that you live next door to. How about that? It's always some protests going on. But anyway, also over the 3-day weekend, it was hot and heavy over there with Russia and Ukraine. Check this out.
Let's begin this morning with a massive, deadly Russian attack on Ukraine overnight. It is the largest aerial assault there since the war began more than 3 years ago. NBC's Matt Bradley has new details. Matt, what's the latest?
Yeah, Willie, it's like you said, it's being called Russia's largest aerial bombardment against Ukraine ever since this war started 3 years ago. Russia launched about 367 missiles and drones at about 30 villages and cities in Ukraine over the past day, including the capital. Now, the death toll currently stands at least 12 people, including 3 children, with about hundreds more who have been injured. And this follows on from last night when at least 4 people had been killed, also in strikes.
It's a hot mess over there. A hot mess. I thought they signed a peace treaty. I can't tell. Meanwhile,
the urgent manhunt for 5 New Orleans fugitives is escalating. Today, nearly 1 week after the escape, the district attorney ordering a formal and official processing of the cell as a crime scene, sweeping for fingerprints and DNA.
DAs typically aren't at crime scenes ordering fingerprint testing. That's not normal. Normally the law enforcement agency that's responsible would have gotten that done.
Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrow, whose office has now taken charge of the investigation into the jailbreak, tells NBC News all intel suggests the fugitives remain in the area.
Are you calling for more increased patrols or any other added police presence in New Orleans at these people's homes?
I think that presence is there now. These are individuals who are charged with violent felonies, and they are facing long jail sentences if they are convicted, and so that creates a pretty unpredictable and dangerous situation.
Murrow says the escape...
I tell you, always in good old USA, it's just lack of accountability, lack of oversight, lack of responsibility, just kicking the can down the road. Somebody dropped the ball over there in New Orleans. You know what? The New Orleans Police Department is the same police department that I did a story on last year that lost a lot of evidence out of the evidence room. and there was a high amount of marijuana in the evidence room that came up missing, and they said that the rats ate it. I kid you not. I can't make this up. They said the rats ate the evidence. The rats ate the marijuana. Yeah, we got some good laughs out of that last year. But anyway, also over the weekend, it's so much going on. It was that situation too over in was it the UK? They just had that parade and a gentleman ran through the parade. It's a lot going on, family. But check this out right here with this fuel tanker.
A sea of massive orange flames engulfing Florida's Interstate 595.
Fire. It is a massive, holy.
After officials say a fuel tanker and public bus collided in Broward County this morning.
Massive explosion. Driver possibly still inside a vehicle.
Davie Fire says one person was taken to the hospital during a busy holiday weekend on the roads. Families passing in disbelief.
Oh man, you can feel the heat.
Officers seen here diverting traffic as thick black plumes filled otherwise sunny skies.
There were some toxic fumes coming.
I tell you, family, it's so much going on. I do my best to keep you all up to date here on these Melchizedek headlines because it's just like one thing after another, one thing after another. A lot of people didn't know about that in Florida, and a lot of people didn't know about that situation with the car running in the parade over there in the UK. But check this out. Also, many people don't know about this, that a lot of people down here in the South is without power. I believe this is over here in New Orleans again. Why is New Orleans in the headlines so much right now? But they said over 100,000 were without power over the weekend. Not sure what the number is right now. I'll look it up. But check this out.
Weekend News begins with breaking news.
Good evening and thanks so much for watching. I'm Whitney Miller. That breaking news, at least 50,000 people are without power in New Orleans right now. Entergy's outage map shows a big portion of the East Bank is affected, and it's mostly Central City, part of Uptown and the Irish Channel. Entergy just told us within the last 15 minutes that this was a load shed. That's when the power grid is close to capacity. So the grid operator tells Entergy to shut part of it down for a time so it doesn't overload. The company says it does not have an estimated time for restoration at this time. That outage is happening on a very, very hot day, leaving lots of folks without AC.
Yeah, brothers and sisters. We got to shut the grid down because it might get overloaded. It's a lot of that going on and a lot more of that coming right in time for the summer. Meanwhile, Trump talking about he not happy with Putin. Putin like, I ain't happy with you either.
Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Mr. Trump, we don't like a whole lot of things that you doing, especially right now. Ask the laid off workers. Yeah. Sounds like they trying to set something up. I always see them setting up an agenda. That's how the wicked be moving in the earth right now. Here's some coverage, family, of that situation over on that Memorial Day parade I was telling you. Check this out.
Begin today with breaking news in Liverpool, England, where a car drove into a crowd of people lining the streets for a soccer celebration. Police are describing it as a major incident. Thousands of people were gathered to celebrate the Liverpool football team's English Premier League victory. You can see there is a heavy emergency presence and debris littering the road. Now, we do have video of the moment of the incident. This from a witness who appears to be in a building overlooking the scene. We do want to warn you, though, the video, which we've blurred to obscure bodies, is graphic and extremely disturbing. It isn't clear yet how many people were injured or killed, but police say the car stopped at the scene and that a 53-year-old white British man from the Liverpool area has been arrested.
So many incidents with people using cars and just mowing down crowds. I would be cautious about going in large crowds right about now. In this day and age, with so much that's going on, I would try to avoid large crowds if I was a wise one. Meanwhile, back to the USA, as usual.
New tonight, people at a popular tourist spot in Osceola County running for their lives last night after deputies say a Checkers employee shot and killed a customer all over a fast food order. Good evening, I'm Greg Wormuth.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. We first told you on Eyewitness News at 4 that deputies arrested this man, Elijah McKee, for first-degree murder. This all happening in Old Town next to Fun Spot Kissimmee. Channel 9's Scott Martin is live after talking to people who were there. And Scott, this fast food joint is still a crime scene. Hard to believe this is all over an order.
Martha, and that's exactly what people were telling me out here as well, but the crime scene tape still blocking off the drive-through area. In fact, I talked to one man who says that he had just grabbed dinner here at this Checkers before the shooting, and also workers here at some of the rides and amusement rides here tell me that people started running when they heard the gunshots. A Checkers fast food location next to a tourist destination, now an active crime scene.
There were a whole bunch of cops here. Like, it was scary.
A crowded hotspot where Kelvin Lindsay says he picked up dinner Wednesday night at Checkers, later driving by to find...
Brothers and sisters, all these fast food restaurants going to be closing up because we hear incidents like this time after time, people getting mad with the employees, vice versa, snapping, fighting, killing folks at the fast food places. They gonna be shutting down. You ain't gonna be having those conveniences coming in the near future. Oh no, you can tell. I even saw something where it was, I'm not sure what city, it may have been Georgia, but they raised the age limit at McDonald's to 21 because they had so many students fighting in the McDonald's. So in order to come inside the McDonald's, you got to be 21. And I was thinking, and I told my husband, I said, don't nobody want no Mickey D's? No way. Really? Ain't nobody checking for you, Mickey D's. Meanwhile, here's another story coming out of the crazy mess of the Babylonian system. Oh yeah, just so many stories like this, family.
Happening now, Dalton police are investigating what they believe is a double murder-suicide. They say a man shot and killed his wife before driving to another location to shoot and kill his girlfriend. Then he turned the gun on himself. Fox 5's Eric Mock is live from the scene of the first murder that's on Moore Street there in Dalton. Eric, walk us through this tragic event.
Eric, really very tragic. You know, we're learning from police that they actually responded to the Murray Avenue apartments yesterday evening around 6 p.m. because the woman who lived here, her co-workers, called police. They were worried because she hadn't shown up to work for several days. And when police got inside her apartment, they unfortunately found her dead with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. Now, detectives then looked through surveillance video from the apartment complex and saw a suspect leaving her apartment on Wednesday evening. They tracked that suspect's vehicle to an apartment complex on Shadow Lane. That's about 3 miles away from here. Now, while waiting for a search warrant to go in there, police say the father of the second victim actually showed up to the apartment to check on his daughter. And when he went inside, he discovered her and another man dead inside. Investigators believe the man shot the woman there as well before shooting himself. Now, police say at this time they believe the suspect...
Y'all don't think we need the laws of Yesharon? We truly do need the laws of the Most High, and we need to abide by them. The hearts of man and woman have waxed cold. He didn't went over there. I mean, his life was in a hot mess. He even killed the wife and the girlfriend. Like, what's the story behind that? All I know is just wickedness. Yes, just totally, just a sinfulness, and it's destroying us. It's destroying us. Yes, brothers and sisters. I got something I want to follow up on. You know, the tornadoes over in the St. Louis area have been devastating. I have immediate family there. I've been keeping in touch with them, you know, wanting to know what's going on and what the governor is doing and the mayor, because I haven't been very happy about a lot of the stories coming out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to follow up here and show you all a few things that's going on, because I'm praying that it wakes up my brothers and sisters and it opens your eyes to what is happening as a result of these unnatural disasters that are happening. So let's go over to St. Louis, because I want you to hear from some of the residents. Number one, they're trying to evict people, and this has already started last week, putting notices on the residents' doors right after the tornado, not giving them any kind of further direction as to where they can go get housing, or stay at a hotel, just leaving people just in the dark, And then now the governor is talking about, we talking to FEMA to try to see if we can get some assistance. I thought FEMA was broke. I mean, that's what they told us back in December, especially those of us that are here in Maui and experienced all the details with the Lahaina fire. All I know is they're liars, and they're always lying. But I want y'all to see this.
Hit the hardest in North St. Louis are now being told that they have just 10 days to vacate their damaged homes like the one you just saw. But residents say they are confused, as you can imagine, overwhelmed and left in the dark, literally. Fox 2's Taylor Harris reports.
These red stickers are popping up on homes across North St. Louis, marking properties as unsafe and giving residents just 10 days to leave before they're condemned. It's the latest blow for families already struggling after the tornado.
Help the people that need the help right now. Don't add no extra stuff onto what we already going through. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no extra. We need help.
Mayor Kara Spencer says that the city is not trying to punish anyone, but admits the air quality is a real concern. She says even she can feel it in her lungs. That's part of why the 10-day vacate notices were issued.
We want to assure you right now that it is not our intent, nor are we going to be punishing residents in any way, shape, or form for entering your property. We're in the process right now of...
I'm telling you, family, I just can't even listen to all the lies. And then, okay, so, we understand these houses have had significant damage due to these unnatural tornadoes. But the fact is, just such a lack of empathy and compassion for people to come, within a week later and put notices on their door and not communicate and tell them what's going on. After people have been traumatized with this catastrophic event. I'm telling you, I'm watching everything that's going on over there in St. Louis, brothers and sisters. I want y'all to see this one too. Listen to our brothers and sisters in the community and what they're saying and how they're handling the aftermath of these tornadoes over there in St. Louis, because I'm telling you, pay attention. It's coming to a city near you.
1 week after the storm, families are still in need.
I lost everything that I worked for.
One woman shares her story after being displaced from her home by the tornado.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson. 1 week after that deadly tornado destroyed thousands of homes and businesses in St. Louis, many families are still struggling and worried about their futures. Storm survivors are still reliving the heart-pounding moments. Today, 5 Innerside's Robert Townsend met a woman who, along with her son, were sucked out of their north side home when the storm hit.
Last Friday afternoon started out as an ordinary one for 64-year-old Gwendolyn Hudgens.
I was in the front room on the computer, and my son was in the back in his room.
Suddenly she heard hail pounding her home near Newstead and Labadie Avenues and her 38-year-old son's shrilling screams.
Mom, Mom. And as he was calling me, everything just started falling on us.
Their North St. Louis home right in the path of an EF3 tornado.
We made it to the front door. I pulled the front door open, it slammed back. Ooh, it was very frightening.
As the terrified mom and son ran for their lives, their one-story brick home broke apart. The 150-mile-per-hour winds tossed them against a wall that also collapsed as Hudgens and her son were blown out of their home.
And the wind pushed us through that wall out on the lot. I thought I was dead because it was so much cement and stuff in my mouth, over my face.
Remarkably, they landed on their property next door with a few scratches.
I am 100% thankful that I am alive.
1 week later, Gwen held back tears when she walked with us around the now massive pile of wood, bricks.
This is my kitchen cabinet right here.
And countless memories.
This is my whole life out here.
She and her son are now living in these tents. The exhausted mom doesn't want to go to a shelter, and she doesn't have insurance. After the storm blew through, Hutchins just couldn't believe what happened to her home of nearly 40 years. Incredibly, her purple wooden shed, where she designed her arts and crafts, had some roof damage, but as you can see, it was still standing.
I guess it's a sign for me, girl, you better keep going.
The retired arts and crafts designer vows she will.
Yeah, I'm gonna rebuild.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
City officials.
Just an amazing story, brothers and sisters. And it's interesting, Brother Joseph and I, we were doing some investigation, and it was talking about how the insurance companies wouldn't even insure a lot of these properties in this particular neighborhood. That's interesting. I want you to hear this as well. This is what's really going on with the aftermath of these catastrophic events.
As we come to you tonight, so many questions and concerns continue to stack. And at the top, when is federal money and help arriving on the ground in North St. Louis? In just the past few hours, we got new data from the city about the destruction. So the city says of the more than 1,000 buildings they have assessed, just over 600 of them have been listed as code red. That means they are not safe. Some 502 buildings are code orange and yellow, meaning they have significant damage and are livable. 620 are green in that category, and they've been deemed safe to live in. Well, the widespread damage on the north side has City Hall taking new action. As of this evening, delinquent property taxes and sales of those properties are on pause to give storm victims a break. The city says this will impact more than 1,000 properties. Tonight, our Team 4 coverage of the recovery continues. Shoshana Stahl and Caroline Hecker are both in North City. So let's begin with Shoshana. Tell us where you are, Shoshana.
Brothers and sisters, there are many, many families being affected. We really need to be praying for people, reaching out, showing love. If you have resources that you can help your brothers and sisters with, definitely this is the time to be the example of the Most High, to walk in charity. That's right, charity is love. Walk in charity, whatever you can do. And if you needed another sign that we are living in some biblical hours, this right here should do the job. I mean, we are living in a very historic biblical time. I couldn't believe when I saw this with my eyes, but I saw it, and I got to share it with you all as we leave out of these Melchizedek News headlines for this Tuesday, May 27th. Family, check this out.
Somebody cut the tail off, or you got a tail getting off. So they just move fast off the road.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, somebody cut the tail off, or you got a tail getting off. So they just move fast off the road.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, somebody cut the tail off, or you got a tail getting off.
Yes, family, you just saw a tailless alligator walking across the street. Family, these are biblical times. As always, here on the Melchizedek News, peace, love, unity, and respect for all people. That's right, for all people. You all keep your heads up, stay encouraged, stay motivated, stay reading the words of our true Messiah. That's right. It is the waters of life. That's right. It is the bread of life. It is the water that's going to keep us, that's going to nourish us in this hour. As always, I love you. Brother Joseph sends his love, and we're saying mahalo from Maui, Hawaii. Please like and subscribe, and also share this channel with others. Love you, family. Shalom.